In the metals quadrant today, taking a look at the June gold futures contract, which showed some late strength. I mean, calling it late strength actually isn't that accurate. It was pretty much mid-morning that strength began. Gold started lower but gained as the session went on, creating an outside range day, which is a lower low and a higher high. And if the previous day was a down day, it needs to finish as an up day. We actually had two previous sessions lower, and then today we created that outside range and finished higher. It's not technically a reversal signal the way that it happened today, but it was technically an outside range day, with that new low being 17.2320, down 55 basis points. And that was very early in the day. And then we rallied up to almost 1750, 1749 and 50 cents was the high, 97 basis points. So almost 1% higher. And we finished the day at about 1745.90 or so, up 76 basis points. You did see some demand from some of the gold consuming countries that might have given us a late push as it kind of filtered through the market. India's gold imports in March rose 471% from a year earlier to a record high. Now, if it would have just been 471, that wouldn't have been as newsworthy, but the fact that it was a record high, 471 over last year, isn't really saying much given the global slowdown in the pandemic, but some of it took us above pre-pandemic levels. And then Hungary tripled its gold reserves in March, one of the biggest purchases by a central bank in decades, according to Bloomberg. So some demand for physical gold is showing up, even though demand for the ETFs seems to be waning. We're seeing outflows in the ETFs. Now, inflation data came out today. US CPI for March was stronger on all fronts. The headline year over year was plus 2.6 versus an expectation of 2.5 and a last of 1.7. The year over year core was up 1.6 versus an expectation of 1.5 and a last of 1.3. And then the month over month data, headline 0.6 versus 0.5, last at 0.4, and the core month over month 0.3 versus 0.2 with a last at 0.1. Nothing dramatic. Rates moved early on from 1.66 on the 10-year to 1.68, and then they fell to about 1.63 in toward the end of the day, helping actually hold gold up. If you've got inflation expectations, but you don't see yields counteracting that or yields rising to counteract that, gold just gets a little bit of a tailwind. And on the downside for gold, or more of a headwind for gold, Bitcoin hit another all-time high, and cryptocurrencies in general are still stealing the spotlight away from gold. Retail platform Robinhood said that 9.5 million users traded cryptos on its platform during the first quarter of 2021, compared with 1.7 million in the fourth quarter of 2020. So that's significant as well in terms of a headwind for gold.